With the Clark renovation being such a large-scale project, what really caused this building to need such a revitalization?
There's a sense that Clark needed to be redone, but when a building is so central to the lifeblood and the working of a campus, taking any part of it offline for a period of time hurts, right? It's simultaneously an illustration of how important the building is and how important it is that we maintain it, but also what the short-term cost is going to be. At different points, different parts of Clark are going to be off or online. Right now, the biggest classroom portion of it is Clark A, and the university has really worked hard to figure out where those classes might be held. There aren't that many large lecture halls like A101. And so some of those classes have been cut down in size. We've had to have some more classes taking place at, earlier in the morning or later in the afternoon, which is, inconvenient for everybody to a certain degree. The university is big enough and capacious enough that we can handle that for a period of time. Clark B is the part that is going offline right now. That is 4 hallways. It's the bridge part of Clark. That is almost entirely faculty offices, right? The anthropology department, sociology, history, some of our smaller centers and interdisciplinary units are there. And we have been moving those groups into new buildings over the course of the last 6 months.
I have been in this office for about 7 years. We've been, kept informed along the way that we would be moving. And then, of course, there was a lot of discussion and brainstorming of where. There's not much extra room here on campus. But we did just find out that we'll go May 17th. We need to be all packed up and organized. And there's a whole system in place for how our things will get where they're going. And I believe we're going to some modular buildings is what I have heard. So,
and then over the summer, what will be happening is that they will be taking those buildings down, working really carefully to make sure that the air quality remains unimpeded, and slowly but surely you will see a new bright light in the sky through there, because that building will come down over the late part of the summer and into the fall. Then construction will sort of take place in that space. Clark B currently has 30,000 square feet of office space. The new building will have 120,000 square feet.
I went to school here back in the late 90s, and so been in Clark for a long time, but it's got good character, which we all appreciate, but it's definitely time to fix it up and revitalize, as they say. So there was a wasp in my printer not too long ago, and there's wasps upstairs and in the restroom down the hall when the ceiling tiles were moved. So things like that, and it's time to give it a facelift. So yeah, and construction's always a challenge, right? Like, we're nervous about moving, but I think the end result will be amazing. So
when we were trying to figure out where faculty offices were going to be, people were really very concerned that faculty offices, the life of a department, is not just faculty doing work in their offices. It's also where they meet students. A lot of the sort of individual teaching that happens in those spaces. So people were very concerned about whether we were going to find places not just for those departments, for those faculty to kind of work, but for those departments to be together.
Like, we're all humans and have, some people are anxious about moving, of course, and this is where they've been for a long time, and nervous that students will still be able to find us easily, because that's why we're here. So, but then also lots of people are really excited. Their drawings are amazing, and the architect company has held sessions where we've gotten to chime in about what will work well in the future. And so we're really excited. We'll have a patio, we believe, that will offer some great fresh air, and because it'll be different not having the walkway downstairs, right? Big building there now.
So what new renovations are coming to the Clark building?
First of all, Clark A will have some positive new additions. There'll be some places like adding meditation rooms and lactation rooms, to bring those into compliance with really, I think, our values for what these buildings should be doing. It will also house CLA's Academic Success Center, where our ASCs work. It'll house the Writing Center, which will move from Eddy Hall. It will house some trio space, which is really about student success for students coming into the university.
And what is happening to Clark B and C?
On the next floors, we'll have an anthropology teaching lab, which will be kind of a glass room where we can see some artifacts that they use in anthropology, even as the classrooms are working. Anthropology, history, languages, and sociology will all have their offices in the upper 2 floors. So this will go 4 stories tall. And then also on that 4th floor, we will be opening the new Joe Blake Center for the Engaged Humanities, which is a research and community outreach center, which will host speakers. It'll host community collaborations. It should be a really pretty innovative space, and it will have a view out over the Front Range in a way that I think will be pretty spectacular.
I'll miss my beautiful view out my window. This tree, we realized that it's been here since Earth Day 34 years ago. So that's hard to say goodbye because it's been a staple here for a lot of people. I look out and there's people just relaxing underneath it, taking a break or having a meeting or enjoying some coffee. So that's probably the part I'll miss the most.